Okay, so our next step is to cut our hardback cover so that it is the same size as our metal cover and our pages. And so what you do is you just lay your metal on the front of the cover, and then you can just mark out, mark around it with a pencil, and then you take a pair of tin snips. You can use scissors, but you have to have a lot of muscle to do this. The tin snips just really work quite well for cutting through these hardback covers. You can cut off a little bit at a time, that way it's not in your way. This doesn't have to be perfect, because you're going to be painting over it and distressing and trying to get it in there. These are not my best ones. I have a newer pair of tin snips. Tin snips are pretty cheap. You can get them at most hardware stores for anywhere between maybe $5 and $10. These are some old ones. I couldn't find my new ones, and the spring on them is kind of messed up, so I'm kind of having a fight with them. Usually it's a lot. It's like cutting with scissors, only better and heavy duty. So you just cut this down. See, the cover is just a little bit smaller. So once you tear all your pages by putting your metal down, they're going to be a little bit wider than your metal. And once you cut your book cover, because you've traced around your metal, it's going to be a little bit smaller than your pages. So your pages are going to stick out and be, you can see all that great texture when it's just sitting on the shelf. It's not hidden by your cover. So you see, you've got, once you get your metal on there, then your pages are sticking out. So we're going to turn it over. I'm going to do the same thing for the back side. Just going to measure it out. This does not have to be perfect. That's the point of this book, is to be kind of rough and organic and aged, and it's not meant to be cut precisely and perfect. I mean, you can make it that way if you want to, but that's kind of the fun of this, of altering a book, is just really going crazy at it and having fun, changing it up the way you want it to be. I taught this class at Create in Chicago, and all my students just had the coolest books when they were done, and everybody's was so different, and you could tell each person's individual style. Even though, the books were made with the same techniques, it was so cool to see. So if you get some made, I'd love to see pictures, because that's part of the fun of it for me. The teaching is getting to see what other people have made with the same techniques. It's really kind of neat. So just keep cutting. Oops, sorry. Once you're done, you can see you've got a little bit of overlap here where you didn't tear all the way to the edge, and you can take your tin snips and go after that too. all kind of pops off of there, and you could cut it down how you want. Some of my bottom pages, I was a little close to the edge, and when your metal is really close to the same size as your paper, it's hard to get that small edge on the bottom, so I'm just going to kind of tear at this a little bit, just to kind of give it a little bit of depth and change it up some. And the bottom edge is kind of cool to have a little bit more of a flat edge, but I want it to match the rest of my book. And the reason why you want it to have a little bit more of a sturdy edge at the bottom is so that when you set it, you know, on a table or something, when you're displaying it, it will actually stand up and not fall over on you. I'm just going to tear out some chunks here and there and get some better texture. Tear it good there. Alright. A little bit better. It's not just real obvious that it's sticking out there. So there we have our prepared book, and this is ready for us to start. It's got all of our torn pages, and this is ready for us to start distressing. And we will get to that. I'm going to clean up this mess, and then we will start our distressing in the next step.